The Boys and Girls Club in Detroit's Cody Rouge neighborhood has new learning and entertainment spaces thanks to Big Shawn and other generous donors. The Detroit rapper Shawn Anderson Foundation gave $100,000 for the construction of a production studio at the facility. American Black Journal contributor Marlo Stoudemeyer was there for the big reveal.
Implementing a recording studio here was important because Detroit is such a musical city, soulful city, and there's so many kids that have the talent that just don't have the resources to record. They don't know how. Not only can you record here and there's a studio here, you can learn how to do the lights. There was somebody working the lights while those kids were performing up here. There was a student learning the lights and doing it, and then there was somebody controlling the sound back there. And you can learn all the jobs that surround the music industry as well here. So it's not just recording, but on top of that, I'm sure you heard some of the beautiful voices up here. It was like some future superstars in here, and they may not have any other means of recording, you know what I'm saying? So that's why I put the studio here, paid for it. I feel like it's one of the most bossed up things I could do. And I'm glad I was able to do it. I hope I can build 10 more.
You started thinking about the partnership with the Boys and Girls Club of Southeastern Michigan. Why was it important for you and your foundation to partner, and why is it important for others to follow your lead?
It's a full circle moment when, your neighborhood supports you and holds you high, and then you're in a position to come back and be able to hold it up in your own way, and take it further. So it was just important for me to, link up with the Boys and Girls Club because they're truthfully one of the only people or foundations or, companies, organizations, there you go, that's a good word, that are in the community and that are based in the community and live in the community and is the community, you know what I mean? So that was why it was important for the Shawn Anderson Foundation to link up with the Boys and Girls Club, get the recording studio in here, to, throw a down weekend here, to have fun, to have, a nice little carnival and free food and everything for everybody, free haircuts, free hair braid and stuff. I think it could save somebody's life if they have somewhere to go. I think it could save somebody's life. I think it could change somebody's life.
And I don't want to get too emotional, but as a single parent, I remember just being so scared. I would see boys, the police off the block, police come and drag them out in handcuffs. And
yeah.
So I just want to get kids off the street. Sorry. And this is such a good, clean, safe place that you can feel good about putting your kids, having your kids here. It's comforting.
Wow, you can really feel the emotion in that clip. Joining me now is the president and CEO of the Boys and Girls Clubs of Southeastern Michigan, Shawn Wilson. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Stephen.
Yeah, so at the end of that clip where we see the emotion sort of attached to the idea that kids ought to have a safe place to go, hang out, do things that expand their minds and horizons. When I was a kid here in the 70s, that was the Boys and Girls Club. That's where lots and lots of people went. That went away, and really nothing else stepped up into that space. So it's a really big deal that you're trying to reopen that.
Yes, it's been an amazing process, and to your point, the Boys and Girls Club brand has always stood for a safe place, and that's important. But we also want to evolve that brand to being about a safe place, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. And when you look at what Myra said and what Shawn said, Shawn said it can save lives, and Myra said we got to get kids off the street, right? And so, we serve between 13 and 15,000 youth every year, but the truth is we should be serving double, triple those number of kids. And so 8 months ago, when I took over as president and CEO, I really came in and said, let's reimagine the Boys and Girls Club experience. And we turned that challenge over to the community. I led over a dozen visioning sessions with 300 stakeholders, including the youth, parents, and the greater community, and said, what does a world-class experience look like? And ultimately, what you see now is what they came up with: self-care room, production studio, innovation lab with a 3D printer. But they also said a place to build businesses for both youth and parents. And so we're really proud that we're the first Boys and Girls Club in the country to offer a co-working space powered by Pony Ride. But ultimately, all of that visioning, the community can have that vision, but you have to have early adopters. And so when you look at Myra and Shawn, they're early adopters. And the thing I love about working with them, I met them when I first moved to Detroit. A mutual friend, Tuolumne Austin from Rock Nation, introduced us. And what I love about working with them is Myra, she gets so excited when you come up with an innovative idea. Like she just, she's pumped about it. She's like, yes, let's do it. And then Shawn, I think he really embraces his position as an influencer and really an ambassador of the city. So when you have that kind of combination, there's some amazing work that can take place. So, them to say, hey, the community said they want a production lab, we'll step up, put up the first 100,000. It's amazing.
So talk about what's different about this space now than what people might be familiar with Boys and Girls Club.
So you went to the Boys and Girls Club.
We don't need to talk about
few
how long
years
ago that was.
Few years ago. And unfortunately for a lot of Boys and Girls Club, not all of them, but a lot, I know it was the case for Southeastern Michigan, that experience really hadn't changed. So a lot of gym and swim motto, more of a drop-in center where you could play pool and, things of that nature. And, I think what we heard from the community loud and clear is, yes, you do have all these youth coming through on a day-to-day basis. Now do something special with them, do something powerful with them. And so instead of gym and swim, you really have a heavy focus on career pathways, heavy focus on edutainment, right? Caring, connected adults in a safe place. Those are our 4 brand promises, or the 4 promises that we're providing. So now when you walk in just this one club, and we're going to reimagine all 8 of our clubs, but when you walk in this one club, you have co-working space where adults are building their businesses. You have that innovation lab with 3D printers and e-gaming, right? But then you also have the Big Shawn production studio, the self-care room. So now when you look at what that programming looks like, it's not so much of a drop-in center. That's only about 30%, but now 70% is really skill-based. We want our youth to be exposed to all the different careers that go along with that. That's just phase 1, by the way. Phase 2, which will be done by the end of this year, includes a barbershop salon, a community laundromat, a test kitchen that was generously just sponsored by one of our newest early adopters, Don and Mary Kosh. And so now when you really think about that, kids can come, they can learn a trade, they can still have fun, but they can also, it's also a place now where their parents can come and skill up, get vocational training, and really create economic mobility for the entire family. We have to get out of this, one day we'll help our youth become successful. Absolutely, that's a long game. But by embracing their families and focus on economic mobility for their family, we can impact them today.
You make that way more possible sooner.
Absolutely.
So you say that you want to expand this to the other clubs in the city. How soon do you think you'll be able to do that?
ASAP. No, it's as you've known me a long time, I like to move quick. So really over the next 2 to 3 years, we want to make sure all 8 of our clubs are reimagined. That's going to take about $15 million to be able to make that happen. We're off to a really good start with some of our early adopters, but ultimately the longest part of the process is making sure that it's not the president or the staff coming in saying this is what's going to happen in the space, but we got to do that community voice piece, the visioning sessions. So each club will look a little bit different. Absolutely. The 4 promises remain the same, but the facilities and the programs may look a little different.
Talk about the reaction so far at this center. Like you could see in the video, the kids really getting into it. I mean, we have so little in neighborhoods like that left of what used to engage youth. I mean, it really is dramatic, I guess, to make this kind of thing available.
Well, now there's something for every youth, right? So if you're not into sports, you have something. You can come and build drones, right? Fly drones. If you're into esports, you can participate in that. There's so now what we've done is we're really broaden the appeal to a broader group of youth, which I think is powerful. And then, once again, for the parents, I think the parents have a safe place to go too.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about it. For $40 a month for adult membership, you basically get access to everything I described during the day. So if we're teaching kids about lighting and podcasting, guess what? We're going to be doing that with adults as well, right? If we're, if you want to e-game, you can e-game, right? And so during the day when the kids aren't there, you have full range of the facility. And then when the youth come, you only have access to the co-working space, basically, right?
Yeah.
So we keep the adults and the youth separate to make sure that we keep those safety protocols in place. But as a parent, I know I would love a place to be able to go build my business, know that my kids are having a blast, know that they're learning and growing simultaneously.
Yeah. All right. Well, congratulations. And we look forward to more of this across the city.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thanks for
Thank
being
you.
here.
Thank you for having me.